Now, why am I starting to talk about this now? Well, I've been doing it for years, but with the economy taking us on a roller coaster of emotions as of late, I think now more than ever, it is super important to follow this strategy. Oh, hey there, friends. What is going on? Listen, it's a wild time out there. A lot of us might not be prepared for what is to come. I'm here to help you today. And hey, by the way, if you're new here, my name's Tony, and this channel I host multiple podcasts as well as run a UGC business. Through those avenues, I'm trying to teach people how to be mentally, physically, and financially healthy. If you enjoy this video and the other videos, hit that little sub button. I appreciate you. Okay, so now back to our financial troubles. Listen, unless you're making tons of money a year, most likely you're probably stressing about money. And you're looking at somebody who's actually gotten laid off twice since the pandemic. So how am I able to continue my life without jumping off a cliff? Thankfully, a long time ago, I realized that it's better to be over-prepared than not prepared enough. And within the last decade, I've been able to buy, rent, and sell 3 homes while opening up 2 businesses that I currently run. How am I able to do it? It's kind of twofold. One, you have to have some type of income, obviously. So even when I was working my corporate jobs, I always had something on the side because you just never know. Your job might not be in your control. So you always have to keep some type of income coming in. Number 2, don't spend money. I don't mean spend $0, but you have to be really good at where you spend your money and be frugal, only getting things you need, not things you want. This video, I'm not going to teach you how to do any side hustles, or this is not like a get rich quick thing. I'm not going to tell you how to make any money in this video. I'm simply going to show you how you can take the money you already have, save it, and reallocate it elsewhere. So if that sounds exciting to you, let's get into this. It almost sounds too simple. And in fact, it is very simple. But a lot of people, unfortunately, even if you make 30, 40, 50 grand a year, that could be plenty to support you and the family. But there's just so much cool shit out there. We like to buy everything. And we don't realize it because of the credit cards, and we can easily Apple Pay everything. So you don't see the numbers. You just see your account starting to deplete and you don't wonder why. Well, I've lived my life by the motto of break even low. And my wife is probably hearing me rolling her eyes at this right now. But that motto is very, very simple. Knowing a break-even analysis. You can Google this term. It's a business term that pretty much a break-even analysis is the amount of revenue that comes into the business. What is your break-even point to where you can pay all your bills so you could figure out what your profits are? In terms of your personal life, your profits would be your savings account. Because, hey, listen, if you could figure out what your break-even is, how much money you need to pay all the bills, all that money that's left over, you can reinvest that, maybe buy a house, put some money in stocks, save up, and finally take that trip to Europe. And while that sounds really, really cool, bro, for you to get excited and want to do all these things, you need to have the money, but you're horrible at saving money. Or more so, you probably just like to spend money. But if you know where your money is going, then you could start really being conscious of it and start to save a little bit of money. Now, why am I starting to talk about this now? Well, I've been doing it for years, but with the economy taking us on a roller coaster of emotions as of late, I think now more than ever, it is super important to follow this strategy. Now, I should mention, I wrote up a quick 7-page ebook that's down in the description, and you could check that out. Along with the ebook, it actually comes with this sheet I'm going to show you. So this is an Excel sheet. I use Mac, so it's a number sheet, but this sheet is going to literally break down everything you need to know. You just fill in the blank. You're going to get this spreadsheet as well as the ebook to explain everything that I'm talking about here and make it really, really simple so that way you and your family can start saving money. So check that out in the description if you don't want to hear me talk, but if you want to hear me talk. Okay, so let's get into this. So this is the actual sheet. If you look in the description below, I'm going to break this down as simple as I can, but I think you guys are smart enough to understand this is a simple spreadsheet. You know, this is through numbers, but I included the Excel program as well. So if you're an Excel user, that's okay too. That'll be in there. Let's say you and your spouse, you're making 40 grand each. Okay. That's pretty reasonable. In some change, it's a little bit more than 3,000, of course, without taxes and everything. Let's just say it's 3,000. Again, you could plug in the numbers when you get the spreadsheet. Spouse 2, you're making 2 grand. Now, additional monthly income, that might be if you make commissions or something like that. It's important that when you do have this, try to do an average per year. Again, you want to prepare for the worst. Well, let's say it's $1,000 a month. Okay. So you're making 12 grand per year in commissions. Now, your household income is $6,000 a month out the door after taxes. Let's just say that's what it is. Your monthly expenses is how we're going to figure out your overall break even. Monthly expenses, again, are fixed expenses. So there is a difference between fixed expenses and other expenses. Just to make this simple, fixed expenses don't change. So that would be your rent, your car payment, utility bills, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So everything that is consistently the same monthly, that's what they would call fixed expenses, right? So let's get back into this. So let's say your rent, it's not $100. Man, wouldn't that be nice? Let's say, I don't know, it's $2,500. Fair to say? $2,500. Your HOA fees, that's only if you own a house. Mine is actually $120 per year. We're going to do 10 because that's 10 times 12 is $120. Now, again, you'll notice I do that per month. I should mention, you're going to see this a lot throughout this spreadsheet. You should be doing this too. So if you have like things like HOA fees, I pay per year. You want to plan to have the money. So you want to plan as if you are paying it per month. And in fact, I would pay it per month if you can. That way you never forget. Does that make sense? So you're going to see that a lot throughout this spreadsheet. All right. So electric and other utilities, let's say it's 100. Grocery shopping, 200 a month is probably realistic. Remember, this is all monthly. Phones and devices, if it's 2 of you, it's probably 200. If it's more than that, you need to change your bill. Cable and internet, that's 100 as well. Self-care, I also include like haircuts, pedicures, spas, things like that. If it's more than $100, you got a problem, but let's put 100 for now. Pet expenses, grooming, food. I got a corgi, so $50 a month is what we spend. Streaming services, that's kind of a lot too. Again, probably should be using a couple streaming services. If you're penny pinching with this, I would cancel all your streaming services except maybe one like Netflix. Let's say it's 50. Pest control, AC, security systems. I actually only pay close to 30, but let's round up 50. Entertainment and date night. Now this is important because, you know, even though you're saving money and you want to be important and you want to be responsible, you should definitely think about how we can set aside money to do date nights and entertainment stuff. So that's extremely important. Ensure to do that here. I put $100 a month. Put whatever you want, but be realistic. So save that. Car payments, definitely not 100. Let's put 500. That's pretty realistic. What else? Car maintenance, oil change every 3 months. This is what I was talking about before. So if it's every 3 months, you're spending $30. That's $10 a month, follow? So that's what you want to make sure you want to plan that you have that. Insurance, $100 a month, let's say that. Childcare, let's say it's $100 a month. We don't have kids yet. It's probably 200. So I know it's expensive. All right, so this is it. So now your monthly break even. Look at that number. So that is the amount of money you need to make every single month. Just already by looking at these numbers, you don't have to be a mathematician, but already you make enough money to pay the bills. You're probably thinking, what's the money left over? If you notice when you grab this spreadsheet, I already have it built out. So just like I did, you're going to plug in your info and all this is going to repopulate. So you're going to have everything you need already. You don't have to do shit. It's already done for you. And it comes with that ebook for free as well. This is your monthly expenses, right? Your fixed expenses subtracted by the money in. That's how much money you could save. $1,730, $1,730. Doesn't seem like a lot in the course of a year though. Look at that. So now this is the money left over times 12. The formula is already done. Okay. Hope you guys understand this. You don't have to know math. You buy the spreadsheet, you plug in the numbers, it's already done. You'll have this already. So that's $20,000 that you could save every year. Every year. Now let's say, Tony, these numbers, dude, my mortgage is $5,000. My HOA fees are $20 a month. Electric, $150, right? We can go and we could change all these numbers. So now look what happens. Your break even is $6,830. You make $6,000. So now what do we do with this formula? Well, now that you've broken out all your expenses per month and you figured out exactly how much you make, how much your spouse makes, how much money you spend, now you can go and pick this apart. Now you can say, all right, babe, well, guess what? We're in trouble because we're going to lose $830 this month. Now, how are people getting away with doing this? Because you're probably maybe in this category. You're able to get away with doing this because you have a credit card. That is not a good thing. Sure, it helps you establish credit, yada, yada, yada. The fact that you get sucked in by using your credit card, imagine all the interest fees that you're getting if you're not paying your credit card on time, all that. I always like to say, if you don't have the cash in the bank to afford it, don't buy it. So by doing the spreadsheet, when you look at this and you say, all right, babe, well, we're $830 in the hole. So now we got to go and we got to cut some expenses. So guess what? First thing to go, self-care. Boom. We're not getting haircuts. We can't afford it. Phone devices. We got to cut it down to one phone. Grocery shopping. We got to buy less groceries. We got to eat less. We're fat. HOA fees. Can't do anything about that. Rent. Can't do anything about that. Self-care. Pet expenses. Well, dog is going to eat less. Streaming services. We got to cancel it all. Pest control, right? Entertainment. That's not happening. Buy car payments. Well, hopefully we can have a car. Car maintenance, still got to do that. Insurance, got to have that. Childcare, we got to figure it out. Have a family member watch them. Now we're down to $240. So you'll have to pick it apart, but at least now you'll know what to do because you have your expenses laid out for you. That's the key with this spreadsheet is figuring out exactly what you need to do, just doing it. And listen, man, I know it's tough. I know it's tough out there. I get it. But there's 2 reasons why people don't have money. A, It's the people you hang around with. So your friends are broke or they're bad influences on you. They want to go out all the time and they want to party and they want to drink and they want to go out to dinner. But if you don't have the money, you fall into that peer pressure. So you need to change your friends. Your friends are your problem. That's number one. Or number two is you just don't have self-control. And that's probably a big portion of this is. And you want to go on Amazon Prime Day to buy shit that you don't need, especially if you don't have the money to spend it, you're going to run into some big problems down the road. This is just something I used. I hope this brings you value. Share it with some loved ones. And again, everything's in the description below where you could check out the spreadsheet. You download that. It's only like $4 or $5. Download that. You get the free ebook as well. That'll kind of break down everything in detail that we're talking about. Let's all focus more on how we can save money, because I think if we can get really good at that, we're going to be a lot happier. Anyway, hope this helps, guys. Stay healthy, friends. Oh, hey there. First of all, thanks for making it to the end of this video. Not a lot of people do, according to the YouTube analytics, but I do want to say thanks for listening to this. There's some more episodes if you want to check those out, and they're all just as good. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out those timestamps below to reference some of the topics I talked about, as well as some discount links to some of our sponsors and affiliates. But thanks for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next time.